This is Jack, a kind-hearted boy who learned to be friendly and considerate to everyone in his neighborhood. Because of his kindness, everyone respected him, and Jack felt good about this, believing that God was pleased with his behavior. But as time went on, the respect from others started to feed Jack's pride. He began to forget that people admired him for his good manners, and instead started to think that they were obligated to respect him, even if he didn't treat them well. With this new mindset, Jack no longer felt the same sense of satisfaction he once did, and he couldn't feel God's approval as he used to. He knew something was wrong, but couldn't quite figure out what it was, so he decided to ask his grandfather for advice. "Grandpa, I feel like God isn't pleased with me anymore, and I don't feel good about myself either. Can you help me?" Jack asked. His grandfather, who had heard the whole thing from the neighbors, smiled and said, "I know what your problem is. Let me share a short story with you, and it might help you understand." In a garden, there was a fountain surrounded by high walls. A very thirsty man stood at the top of the wall, gazing longingly at the water below. Suddenly, he picked up a brick from the wall and threw it into the fountain. The sound of the water splashing was like the sweet and beautiful voice of a beloved to his ears. To him, the water seemed like wine. The man enjoyed the sound so much that he kept pulling out bricks and throwing them into the water. The water cried out, "Hey, why are you throwing bricks at me? What benefit do you get from doing this?" The thirsty man replied, "Oh, sweet water, there are two benefits in this for me. The first is that the sound of water is like music to a thirsty person. Its melody is life-giving. It can revive the dead, just like the sound of spring thunder brings greenery and blossoms to a garden. The sound of water is a gift for the poor, a message of freedom for the imprisoned, the scent of God coming from the heavens. The second benefit is that with every brick I remove, the wall becomes shorter, and I get closer to the sweet water. Surrendering to God is like removing bricks. Each time you remove a brick of pride, the wall of your ego gets shorter, and you get closer to the water of life and the feeling of God. The thirstier a person is, the faster they remove the bricks. The more they love the sound of the water, the bigger the bricks they take away. You see, Jack," his grandfather continued, "this story is a lot like life. The big wall around the water represents all the things that keep us from feeling close to God. Things like pride, stubbornness, or getting too caught up in things that don't really matter. The man in the story, by pulling out the bricks, is doing what you need to do, removing those barriers that block you from God. Every time he takes out a brick, he gets closer to the water, just like when you let go of your pride or selfishness. You'll get closer to feeling God in your heart. And just like the man loved the sound of the water, we should cherish the small moments that bring us closer to God. When we pray, help others, or even just sit quietly and reflect on the good things in life, it's like hearing that sweet sound of the water. These little moments fill our hearts and help us connect with God more and more. Jack listened to his grandfather, and suddenly it all made sense. He realized that his pride had been the wall keeping him from feeling close to God. Grateful and relieved, Jack smiled and said, "Thank you, Grandpa. I see now that I need to let go of my pride and return to being the kind and humble person I was. I can already feel that connection with God coming back." His grandfather smiled, glad to see Jack had found the answer he was searching for. If you found this story helpful, make sure to subscribe to the channel. And if you're interested in understanding the importance of trusting God's plan, click on the video right here. Thanks for watching.